Hello everyone, Ryan here with a deck review for Hocus Pocus. Today we have another work of art from Dan and Dave. This time they teamed up with Jeff Trish to release the third edition of Sons of Liberty in Patriot Blue. Jeff Trish is into illustrating and lettering and brings a distinct woodcut style to this deck. It commemorates the Patriots who resisted British rule to establish the colonies that eventually became the United States. Highly detailed artwork inspired by history is incorporated throughout the deck, starting with the tuck case. A thick, full-colored blue stock was used for the box. Embossing combined with pewter and bronze foil give the tuck a deep, rich feel with highly contrasting lettering and imagery. The front of the tuck case features the name of the deck in a free-flowing and intertwined type, sculpted in a duller-than-silver pewter foil. Made in America arches over the top, with the Roman numerals for 1776 residing below. A ghosted image of a toppled chair is evident at the right angle. A pewter frame finishes off the box front. Both sides of the deck have a bronze foil cross-hatched background that wraps over to the back. A banner with writing drapes across each side. One reads the D&D Playing Card Company, while the other reads Designed by Jeff Trish. The bottom of the box contains the company's info and barcode. The top of the tuck flap features the name of the deck in pewter foil. 4 rows of bronze stars parallel the arch of the tuck flap, with Liberty or Death along the leading edge. The side of the tabs have what looks like a lit fuse on one end and a fork-tongued snake on the other. The interior is left solid blue. A skull and crossbones stamp style seal keeps the tuck closed, and void is marked over the brow of the skull. The back of the tuck case features the card back design image and a combination of sculpted bronze and pewter foil. A set of Masonic square and compasses frame 2 eagles with wings spread and claws grasping the bayoneted compass ends. Bronze foil lines radiate from the all-seeing eyes at the top and bottom. An intertwined S and L sit in the center and can be read right side up or upside down. Banners curl over and through the outermost frames. They read "Rebellion to tyrants is obedience to God." The card back design replicates this exact image in a deep blue and white color scheme. The almost faded look of the blue and the less than perfect image edges gives an aged and hand-carved woodcut feel to the design. The color balance scales are tipped to the dark side, but just enough to give a heavy and impactful design without looking muddy or losing detail. The deck comes with 56 cards made up of 2 jokers, an info card, an ad card, and the standard 13 cards in each suit. All of the cards feature a woodcut look to them. The pip placement, pip design, indice design, and courts are all custom. The typical red has been replaced with a burgundy tone. Both jokers depict a pillory or wooden framework used to immobilize and expose offenders to public abuse in colonial times. One is in a black ink with bronze near the bottom. The other is in a burgundy color with the same bronze detail. The Ace of Spades depicts the Liberty Tree, which is an elm that stood in the Boston Commons and marks the site of the first publicly defiant act against the British in 1765. The colonists opposed attacks on all paper products, including playing cards. The year 1776 reigns over the tree, and a knotted snake resides below along with some detail. The other 3 aces are unembellished. The core cards represent key figures in the Sons of Liberty movement and the foundation of the United States. You can find lots of interesting information on each character and what role they played. The individuals are depicted in either black or burgundy with a bronze background filled with symbolic imagery meaningful to that character. The number cards display the pips in a unique way that is still readable. The pips themselves have been reimagined with an older, more antique feel to them. The less than perfect shape looks more of the times than a perfectly symmetrical one. The indices are clear and easy to tell apart. The ad card is for Dan and Dave and showcases a Gutenberg press top and center. The info card puts the theme and artwork of the deck into perspective and opens the door for more research into the topic if that's the route you want to go. The cards are printed by USPCC on the Dan and Dave crushed stock that gives them a thin but snappy feel. The finish used for the first edition was listed as cambric, and I believe they feel the same. The cards weigh in at 1.661 grams each and measure out to 0.27 millimeters. The medium-sized borders measure out to between 3.2 and 3.8 millimeters. They're not as even as other Dan and Dave decks printed recently, but the free-flowing and loose design helps mask the slightly uneven borders. The deck handles really well. Out of the box, they're really slick and sturdy. They seem to stand up well to palms and aerial moves that bend or flex the card. They fan evenly, and after a bit of use, doubles and packet work is easier. Cardists looking for a deck in deep blue with a heavy design will appreciate this deck. The contrast between the faces and backs show well. Magicians who own the first or second editions can mix in a few cards for tricks that require the backs to change colors. The pips and indices are readable to both the audience and yourself. Gameplay might be a concern for the purist, but for those friendly card nights with friends that appreciate history or good art, this deck will work perfectly. Collectors can appreciate the contrast between the vibrant foil work and the deep blue tuck. The first edition sold out, and the second edition in white and gold was released in very limited amounts. This adds to the collectability of this edition and allows those that missed out on the first one to still own a bit of history. Dan and Dave, along with Jeff Trish, pulled off another great deck, paying tribute to the first patriots of our country while satisfying the needs of card handlers of all sorts. The stunning tuck case is enough for me, but if you're in it for the handling, you won't be let down. Dan and Dave are doing a great job of bringing to market cards with desirable artwork and themes and unique stocks and handling characteristics. I believe this is a direct result of their participation and active involvement with the community and end users. If you feel Sons of Liberty belongs on your shelf or in your lineup, click your way over to hocus-pocus.com and put a few in your cart. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more reviews.